prisons involved.
Just a quick question. You mentioned that they can't get access to modem via the internet.
Yes.
How would they gain access to information that's not available within textbooks, etc.?
Via the members. So it means that we go, they bring us the website and whatever they need, we put it on a memory stick, we give it back to them, they put it on their computers and they can access it. Yes.
Will I be some brothers and friends? Thank you. Any other? I'm excited about today. I don't know if this goes, but have you seen an increase in the number of prisoners enrolled for tertiary studies?
Definitely, yes. It's as if they suddenly realize that they've got the chance. And then also, the students that are there are encouraging the others to please take part. As soon as they've obtained their degree, they will go from cell to cell and explain to them, listen, this is what I've got. Even one came to me the other day in class, I was busy with the facilitators for ABET. He said to me, please can you read to them that I'm going to my graduation on the 9th of May. Explain to them that I've got this opportunity. Explain to them that I'm a lifer. And I've been given this opportunity. I'm only seeing the parole board later this year, but I can go out with a degree. So, and then also some of them are doing masters in law. Some of them are busy with honors. So it's a challenge, you know, this one can't have something that I don't have. So there's a definite increase, and it's because they are motivating each other.
And you are motivating them too.
Have to, that's my job.
Hugo, sorry, just thinking on that topic for the information, can't you create a database where you can actually load on some information where they can connect via their laptops into your database? Understand? Like, take some journal articles or whatever.
Yes. So we are currently busy with Unisa and Nelspruit, the Nelspruit campus there. They are currently busy helping us to see if we cannot establish at least one computer in our center. So that those 36 students, we don't like to call them offenders, those 36 students can have access. Apparently with Unisa you get a memory stick where you just put it in and you only have access to your My Unisa or something like that. According to them they can do that. So this is what we want currently. They are busy with that to see if we will provide the computer. They will provide us with the network so that anyone can go in, just put his memory stick and he only has access to certain things. Okay. So that they are busy with that. It's just a little bit tricky because as you know, mostly their knowledge of computers is more than ours. So we think they're only going into one thing and then something else happens. So we have to make sure that it's 100% secure.
I have an MA student who's got doctorate, and I found communicating with the students very difficult. Last year, we lost complete contact with him, and then after I think 3 or 4 months, we got a letter from a prison official saying that they confiscated all the electronic equipment of the student because he was writing his proposal and things that he wrote they didn't like. So I wrote to Professor Carien du Plessis and we waived his fees for last year and we could register from the start this year. But still, it's not like any other student where you write an email and you get a response within 2 or 3 days. It's often communicating with especially MI students, perhaps with undergraduate and other students. It's not such a problem because you work with it's much more kind of a standardized work, but with the MI students I find it very difficult.
It is sometimes difficult, but then I have to say it all depends on the person that you're working with. I'm also a prison official. I'm doing my utmost best to make sure if they come in and say, ma'am, is it possible for you to send an email? I try to send the email immediately. Some of you might have received some of my emails. It's the name of the offender or the student, then at the bottom, sent by Lilla and Walt. And they are there every morning to double check, to make sure that they have received feedback. Because we work with the the people from Unisa, and they give feedback within 24 hours. You've got that automated reply that says we've received it. Within 24 hours, we do get feedback. But please remember, I cannot represent all the prisons in South Africa because each and every head of prison is going to look at policy and interpret it the way he wants to interpret it. So one prison can say, all right, we found a modem, we just take it away, but we leave the student with his laptop to make sure that he can continue with his studies. The next one is going to say we're going to confiscate it completely. Next one is going to say we're going to stop his studies completely. So it all depends on who's working with that. But as we do, is we try our utmost best to make sure that even though they do transgress, we make sure that their studies is a priority. That's supposed to be the main priority, because rehabilitation is supposed to be the main priority. As you said, it's not, but we really do our utmost best.
I would just like to comment on what you're saying, because my experience in prison was that there were no computers. You were not allowed to have a personal computer as an offender. So it shows that there is improvement. There is progress. If offenders will be allowed the opportunity to have their laptops, then it means there's a progress. We are going forward. So I'd like you to comment on that. But then, as you correctly pointed out, prisons are not the same. You cannot expect that a prisoner serving a sentence in Waterloo prison will be treated the same as a person who's serving a sentence in Joburg prison. So those are different. And then with the issue of rehabilitation, because you've raised an important issue of rehabilitation. With the issue of rehabilitation, I think it's that issue is not. It's a very sensitive issue. It's an issue that we look at from different angles. It's very controversial in the sense that some of the rehabilitation programs that are there in prisons, well, according to my experience, some of them they do not tap into the behavior as such. Because I'll make you an example. I was incarcerated for robbery, which is car hijacking, but it's classified as an aggressive crime. And to change my behavior, I had to undergo an anger management program. But I always say in my argument that I did not commit that crime because I was angry. I committed that crime because I wanted the money. So I knew that if I hijacked you, I beg you.
So why did you?
Well, it was a way of living for me. I'll be honest with you, Edna. I had opportunities, I had choices, but the choices that I made when growing up, I made the wrong and I made bad choices. I hung out with the wrong crowd. I will not blame them because I was part of them and I was the influential. So I committed crime as a way of living. And you commit crime in order to show how far can you go. Because if you need respect, you need to show how far can you go, how much risk can you take. So it became a way of life and it became my way of earning money. I did that for years. And when I was finally incarcerated, went into prison, and I decided to change my mind. Like Edna said, after a few years, I decided to go back to school. I've been studying ever since. I've been counting the past few days. I've been studying with Unisa for the past 11 years now. I did not break, I did not do anything in between, been studying all the way through. Now I believe that I'm a shining example so that I can go into prisons, tell the prisoners who are in prison that yes, it is possible. I'm not saying that I've made it, but what I'm saying is that I'm in the process of making it. I am part of you, I am one of you. So if I'm able to make it, you can also make it. That's my 2 cents for it.
Just a question, like the fact that the offenders, they can able to study in the prison, but I'm worried with the issue of criminal record, that you get your degree, you get your master's, and when you go outside, they tell you that you got the criminal record. You know, I'm just asking, what is the policy saying, the Correctional Service police, that if you get your degree, then tomorrow you go outside and they still see that criminal, the offender. So, yeah, what exactly the policy is saying, that if you get your master's as an offender, then you go outside, then you start trying to get a job, and what exactly
Yeah. Okay, before maybe I answer that, perhaps maybe you would like to talk us about the expansion into criminal record.
I really don't know what the policy says. I think the policy regarding criminal record more has to do with the company where you are applying. I know for a fact one of my master degrees students, he was released last year, November, and he's doing his master's in law with Unisa, and he's currently employed at one of the lawyers in Nelspruit doing his articles. So I think it all depends on the company. Are they going to entertain your criminal record or not? I don't think there's a policy for DCS. If there is, I really don't know.
I think that I remember one lady who had been an accountant, and she was released and got a wonderful job at a big firm, and found me a few days later weeping. One of her colleagues from prison had very kindly told the company she'd been in prison and she was out. And I advise every offender, tell the company that you have been in prison. And it's up to them. They don't have to tell everybody, as long as I don't know how you feel. But Suzanne, when she got this job at this high school, I said to her, you must tell. She said, I have. I told the principal, and he said, that's fine, keep quiet.
Well, Fana, just to explain, maybe give you my idea of what this is all about. My experience is that when you apply for a job, often than not you find a section where you need to explain or you need to furnish maybe information with regards to whether you have a criminal record or not. And my experience was that when you do mention that you've got a criminal record, your CV is not really being shortlisted. So straight from that person to the dustbin, that's what I think. Because I've applied number of times, but then every time I declare that I've got a criminal record, I'm not even being called for the interview. Then I decided to change the way I approach things, and I decided not to mention this time that I've got a criminal record. I'll tell you what, I was shortlisted for that interview. I went for the interview, then I declared during the interview that I have a criminal record, and then I got that post. But then it